Welcome back, everybody. We are here live at Gamescom 2014, and sitting next to me is the awesome Skyforge people. What's going on? What did we see? I know very little.
All right.
About Skyforge.
All right. Well,
so you're here to help me.
About it.
Tell me.
All right. So my name's Eric DeMille. I'm a development director at Obsidian Entertainment. This is Alexander Mishulin. He's a creative director on Skyforge. He's part of the Allods team. So Skyforge is being developed by the Allods team. They're a part of the MailRU group. They're a really talented development house. Their previous projects include, obviously, Allods Online. They've got team members who've worked on some great titles, Heroes of Might and Magic 5, Rage of Mages, personal favorite of mine, old school game, Silent Storm, awesome RTS. A really great team to be working with. My company, Obsidian, we're collaborating with the Allods team, so we're providing support in westernization, culturalization, stuff like that. We've also got a small development team working on additional class development for the game at and post-launch, and additional instance content and things like raids and things like that. So that's enough about us. Let's tell you about Skyforge. So as you can see on the screen, Skyforge is a sci-fantasy MMORPG, which gives us a ton of creative freedom, right? It's the best of both worlds for us. We get to explore strong fantasy adventure touchstones, huge spellcasters, awesome monsters, all that stuff. And then we get to do science fiction things. It gives the team a lot of creative freedom. So you get awesome areas like this divine observatory in the capital city. So a little bit more about Skyforge. In the world of Skyforge, each planet is controlled or protected by a greater god. That greater god derives his power from the followers on that world. The player's world here, Aeolon, that greater god's disappeared, leaving it open, all those followers unprotected. So hostile gods and their armies from other worlds are invading and attacking. Rather than start you off as a mundane, you're a farmer, right, doing things to squirrels or whatever, in a lot of MMOs, we're going to start you off as a newborn, immortal hero in this world. And your job's to protect your planet from these invasions, build your power, build your prestige, gain your own followers, and eventually become a god, right? And that's really the high-level goal for players in the world. So a little bit later on in the demo today, we'll be showing you a first look at that god form. It's pretty cool. We're excited about it. So I have Oleg here jump into this first interface. This interface here is the Divine Observatory.
Wow, that's rad.
Cool, thank you. So what this is this basically all the quests open to this character at any given time. So rather than you have the micro view of the world that you get in a lot of games where you're just hanging out, right? You're in a killing field or a village. You can see the stuff around you, and you're using 1960s technology, right? You got the chat log open like it's a telex terminal, right? You're trying to find where your buddies are. We're going to put it all right front and center for you here, right? So this is all your PvE content, big open world persistent zones, small instances, right? We're going to show you what rewards you get for going into those zones, right? This is your group content, your PvP content. It's all right here. Another thing this God's Eye view of the world gives us the ability to do is project to the players the dynamic events of the world, these big evasion events going on, and make it easy for players to find the content they want to find. So you can think of this as a fast travel system. We're trying to put as much information as we can in front of the players so they can get to the content that they want, which is usually killing things, taking their stuff, or killing your friends, gloating about it, right? So as Oleg mouses over these things, you'll see that we display the rewards. You can even filter this view by the type of rewards and the type of content stuff you're looking for. So it's super nice, great way to get around, right? We're not trying to make a game where you spend half your time just walking across a zone.
I like that.
So here we go. We'll have Oleg go into one of the zones we prepared here for the demo. See Zola digs, right? This is the big floating rock islands and temples that you saw in our video there. So we'll jump on in.
Was that a fictional world? Is that our world? Is that
No,
Earth? I'm really bad at geography. I kept looking for...
totally fictional world, right? The great thing about making a game like this is you can go off and do whatever you want. So yeah. I got a buddy of mine, he's got the state of Texas on his iPhone background, so if he was making this game, you'd probably have one giant continent. So one of the first things we want to talk about is the graphics engine.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
Awesome. So this is a proprietary graphics engine developed by the Allods team just for this game. We want to create these larger-than-life worlds. We want to have awesome-looking characters, right? You play these games, you want to look awesome. We also want to evolve the game, right? We're not just making a product we put in box, we're done. It's a service, so we need this to evolve as we go. We're a free-to-play game, so we want it to look brilliant and run well on a wide range of systems. So we'll have Oleg head down the field here, or hill here. And we'll tell you a bit more about Skyforge, questing in open world zones. So as Oleg came into this zone, right, you notice he didn't talk to a quest giver, but as he gets into a new killing field, we're going to push the quests right to you, right? It's pretty frustrating in a lot of games. When you go out into a field, you're killing stuff, and you realize, oh, I didn't get any quest credit.
Absolutely.
Didn't get anything for it because I didn't talk to a dude out behind it.
Feels very old school, too.
Yeah.
Right. Very dated.
So we're just going to make it easy for players to get to the content they want, right? We're even going to display the rewards for the content you can see, right? So maybe you're looking for a certain type of gem to unlock a certain thing in the Ascension Atlas. We're going to point you in the right direction, make it easy for you to find. And we're really not trying to obfuscate stuff that players are going to find on the internet anyways. All right, so next up, we'll show you a bit of combat. So Sergey's a berserker here, and he eats fish. We brought him all the way here to Cologne, Germany, and we've been trying to feed him sushi every night.
Okay.
So he's going to take his anger out on these flying fish. So one thing you'll note immediately is this is not a classic MMO or traditional MMO where you walk up to the mob, target it, stand still, press your number keys until it dies or you die. We're an action combat MMO, very much influenced by console action games. Want a lot of fast-paced movement in the game. Here's Oleg's dash as a cryomancer. He's a powerful frost mage. One of my favorite spells coming up, this snowball.
Oh, that's awesome.
Rolls up mobs. It's even better in PvP. When you can roll up your friends in that snowball.
And they're just like stuck to it.
It's brilliant.
That's rad.
There was the Paladin's ultimate, flying up in the sky, smashing things. We are an MMORPG, so things like that dash, right, for the cryomancer, you can talent that up, right? So you're an ice slide, you're getting your Iceman on, traveling further, faster, getting a slowing component to it. She's also a powerful caster, right? Great range combat caster, a lot of crowd control. Here's the Cryomancer's ultimate, freezing the entire battlefield, dropping an ice comet. She can just take care of these mobs and they can't even touch her.
The effects of the ice that just like came out of that move, that was rad.
That's awesome, thank you. All right, so there you see the Paladin's gonna move in, start helping out, right? She's a powerful tanking class. She's got a great combo rotation, so depending on the combat situation, right, you can easily go from left-clicking, classic three-hit melee rotation. It's going to change the state of her right-click buttons, and she's going to be able to either do a single target, massive damage, final hit with that combo, or an AoE. All right, so it looks like we got Oleg to stop fighting for a minute. So what we'll do is we'll jump out to the user interface and show off one of the other unique aspects of Skyforge. So this page here is allowing Oleg to change classes. So in Skyforge, you can change classes at any time. As long as you've unlocked a class, you can change to it. What we found a lot of MMOs, traditional ones, right? You make a critical decision about your gameplay really early in the game, right? You're looking at character create, you know very little about the game, and you're deciding, do I want to be this guy with the dog? Because I like dogs, right? So I'll be the dog catcher, right? Or, hey, axes are cool, I'll be the lumberjack, right? You play for about 10 hours, you find, oh my God, that dog's terrible. He's always running off, aggroing mobs, getting me killed, right? And it's a drag.
It is.
To go back and re-roll, right, you got to go back in 10 hours, leave your buddies, replay all that content. It's really frustrating for players. So we've done away with the traditional notion of leveling experience in classes, right? We have an open class system. If you unlock these classes, you can play them. Then you can develop them out however you choose. So we'll have Oleg jump out to the Ascension Atlas.
The best part about having that dog class is say, where my dog's at?
Yep.
And then that works.
Well, in my imaginary game, the dog catcher is a very powerful class. So.
That's incredible.
All right, so this is the Ascension Atlas for just one class, the Archer. This is all the development opportunities you have for that class. So as you're going through the game, completing content, right, whether this is PvE adventures, PvP, you name it, right, you're going to be rewarded with those currencies you see down at the bottom, the colored gems, right, and those are going to unlock nodes along the way. So as Oleg mouses over these, you can see new abilities, perks, talents, all that stuff. All right, so we've unlocked everything here for this demo, right? This is a fully developed Archer.
Absolutely.
But you can see as you go along, right, you got a lot of branching choices.
Looks like a lot to unlock.
Yes, and you can really spec out your character to suit your play style. All right, it's a bit simpler from the beginning, branches out, gets more complicated as you get further into the class. So on top of all this, we can jump to the upper level of the Ascension Atlas. This level is your overall character progression. So to give you a sense of scale, that central node we're mousing over now is everything you saw on the previous screen. So the game will ship with over 10 classes at launch. 3 of them will be unlocked for you, right? These 3 here. And the player can spend those same currencies to develop at either level of the Ascension Atlas at any time. So if you want to work towards unlocking an additional class, unlocking your god form, talenting up your character, right, for certain skills or abilities, right? You want more survivability, right? If you're like me, you just want a high crit chance, right? I love luck and variance, right? You can do it. You want to work towards unlocking the Slayer, the Berserker, you can do it. We're going to total that all up as prestige. and that's your basic combat and damage output number,
Okay.
right? And that's how we can have you multi-class, and you're never in a situation where you've got a level 1 paladin and a level 5 slayer. So we'll have Oleg choose a new class here. He's just going to switch over the slayer, and we're going to set up a new instance to go into. So hang out for 1 second. We're going to let these guys reset the instance.
Awesome stuff, man. Like, I got to tell you, the engine, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's really, really, really nice. And
Really,
it
really good to
also
hear.
seems
Thank
like you guys have your ear to the ground. You're listening to what people have done a lot in past games. And you guys are trying to change it up a little bit, make it simpler.
We definitely are. It's something you always want to do as a developer, right? Is you want to make a better game, right? You want to see what players are doing. Players are evolving. There's a lot of great game and entertainment offerings out there. The Allods team themselves, right? Allods Online was a super successful title for them in the West, or in the East. Been a success worldwide. They've got a lot of knowledge from that game, a lot of experience, and seeing how players actually behave. So we're putting a lot of those lessons to the test here.
Cool.
We're going into closed beta later this year, so we'll see how players interact with it. But we're excited so far and how it works. It's really nice, right? You can jump around in classes, right?
Yeah.
Different combat situation. You get to a boss that smokes you with a range class. Pick your tanking class and really go to town on that boss. So, yeah.
And it looks like are we good?
We are just about ready to go. Got the thumbs up, so we'll go back to the game.
Cool.
All right, so what we're looking at here is this is a 5-man group instance. Brought it here to the game. We got 3 guys playing the demo, so we'll see how they do. They're developers, so they should be able to take these mobs. Oleg's playing the Slayer. Slayer's a super fast melee class. You see a lot of differences between her and the Cryomancer. Crowd control abilities, right? She can use the twin commas and the chains. Chain those mobs, right? Hold them in place and then burn them down. Super powerful finisher. She also has an interesting combat combo rotation. Another thing that's great about her class is she's able to, she's really great at killing vulnerable mobs, right? So in a battle like this, if she's able to kill a powerful mob and get them to drop the health gems, right? That's the way you heal in combat, Skyforge, right? So this gem right here, right? So she can be used tactically to get around the level, right? Get those health gems. You saw the archer just picked one up, right? Gives you a lot of additional choice in combat. Once again, using her crowd control to keep the mobs off her. She's got a great ultimate. We'll see if she gets going here in a minute. Her Fury of Blows. Oh, that guy died. Here we go. Oh, there's a finisher. And find a victim for his ultimate and show off. Change, you can pull the mobs to you, right? Just a lot of control and utility this class. All right, we're going to see if Oleg can show off his ultimate, and then we'll switch over to another class real quick here. I think he's just having too much fun killing mobs.
It's awesome. Like those are those chain combo hits are just really fluid.
Yeah, and she's got a lot of utility, right? She dropped her minefield there. It's great in a crowded situation like this. She can pull the mobs onto those, kite them back. Oleg, you want to show off your ultimate? There we go. Nope. Come on, there we go.
Here it is.
Just get the shurikens for a ranged attack, right? Teleport around. I think now would be a good time to go show off the archer. All right, so the archer here, you see her in the background there. If Oleg stops fighting for a sec. Is a powerful range class, right? She's got a great deal of utility. That's her ultimate in the siege stance. Looks like they've cleared a wave, so it's a great chance to show her off. This is actually my favorite class. I love range classes. Utility, she's got this electric barrier she can cast, right? Now the mobs are getting slowed by that, damaged by it. You can see Oleg's hiding in it as well, pulling the mobs into it for damage. She can dash back quickly, leaving an explosive in her wake, right? So any mobs that are charging her get knocked back, take damage, and then she can engage them with her arrows. Really great class, right? A single shot from her arrow. We'll just do quick left mouse button, single shot, right? Press and hold, powerful AoE. She can also change her firing mode, electrical arrows. Fire arrows, right, with explosive AoE damage. Once again, press and hold. We'll change up the firing. A lot of fast-paced action, a lot of utility there. So we'll let these guys fight for a bit, see how they're doing. It looks like the summoners are showing up. We'll see how 2 guys do against in a 5-man dungeon. Alexander, anything you want to add about this fight? Any comments you want to make?
I would like to comment that every mob also have some ability. You have to avoid or counter. You mentioned summoners. Summoners will put additional mobs onto the battlefield. The big holes just want to rampage you. The armored ones are preparing the dash and then stuns you, throws you away. So you have to be mindful of the situation on the battlefield.
All right. So it looks like these guys are doing pretty well holding their own. If they do start getting overwhelmed, it'll be a good chance for us to show off the God form. So let's see how they do. Looks like another wave's coming in. So far, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, just keep the waves flowing. It's like they know what. It's like they're just great at this.
They may have done this demo a few times.
One or two times.
Yeah. You know, the great thing is it is an action game, right? So there's a lot of variety going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's not super repetitive. It's not like you just move to your one spot. You know how the mobs are going to behave.
And hunker down, and you know exactly where they're going to come from.
You know, but Oleg is doing a good job of pulling the mobs off the archer. You see her trying to maintain distance while Oleg's trying to keep everybody busy. She's got a great mix of single target, heavy damage abilities and AoEs, right? She's even got her shurikens for ranged attacks. But it does look like things are getting pretty busy for these guys.
It's starting to get a little bit heavier.
All right. I think now would be a good time to maybe call on a god for help. So, like I said earlier, in Skyforge, your ultimate goal is to become a god in this game, right? And we want to encourage, those high-level players to play with low-level players. So, in the game, the shipping game, low-level players will be able to summon their gods, their friends who have the god form, call on them for help. So the high-level player will be able to come into a dungeon like this, help out their friends. They'll be rewarded with faith, by faith, which is a currency the god form uses.
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely want to bring in the gods soon. Hopefully our AV hookup is letting them hear me on that. Or they'll start crying for help and they'll take care of it themselves.
They're into it. They're in the game.
There we go.
That looks like a god.
So Sergey's come in his god form, right? This is just a quick look at what the player's god form will look like. First thing you'll notice, a unique look. Second thing you'll notice is you are supremely powerful, right? We don't want just god form in Skyforge to be a trivial, it's a title we give you, you get a hat, and you're done, and you just do level cap stuff, right? This is an over-the-top.
Is that another god too?
No, that's creature he's summoned. So Sergey's playing another class. That's creature God summoned to help him out. So not only do you get over-the-top god form, sometimes you can get over-the-top spells and summons.
That's awesome.
Well, we'll see these guys continue to fight, with a god in here. He's going to do a great job of helping them out, You can see it's much less.
Yeah, he just wipes them out.
Exactly, So we do want you to feel like a very powerful, You're a badass in the world, And we want to encourage these characters to interact together. It's not something you get and you're only playing with high-level characters. This is just the tip of the iceberg for the god form, too. You're going to unlock an entirely new matrix in the Ascension Atlas, like that development matrix we saw for the Archer, Things you can build up and grow with. Unlike normal immortals who have to be out of combat to change class, the god can change class in combat, So that's another great thing about it, too, If you're like me, you spend all your time playing up the Archer, maybe one or two other classes, You're familiar with it. In the god form, you're going to derive your powers from that class that you play, So you're going to be the god of archery, the god of slayers, etc. Another thing we found in testing is that the god form has a really interesting impact on PvP, So as we're playing the game, we find that knowing at high-level PvP, knowing the other players can go into their god form, it's a bit like having Titans come out in Titanfall, It really changes the nature of the battle, And you end up with this really interesting sort of rock, paper, scissors decision, Do you use your god form early in the battle? Do you hold it until later as a counter for the other team, Do you guys all go at once, try and bum rush the other team, take them out, What if you use it and don't take them out? And it really adds an interesting new dimension to PvP. We're excited about it. God form also participates in those large invasion events, We want high-level players and low-level players interacting with one another in these large persistent events, so it's not just segregating the population by the time you've played in the game. You can see these guys are making short work of these waves now. They barely spawn in.
They're totally owning them.
Yep. So it's a lot of fun. Something we're really excited about. Like I said, just the tip of the iceberg. So in addition to the PvP, the God form's a great one for crafters, You're going to have unique crafting that the God can do. A lot of additional benefits to being a God. And it looks like they've still, Oleg's going to switch to the Berserker.
Yeah.
See if
so
he
they're
can tear
okay.
up some mobs, right?
Right.
There's a lull in the combat between the fights, right? So he's going to go in there and get in there and mix it up. All right, looks like we're on the last wave here.
Whoa.
Oleg's jumping in, right? You got a powerful caster up here on this thing. Bunch of mobs. Oleg's getting a little carried away with his fight. There's his finisher on
Wow.
that guy. No more. You can see Sergey's laying down some pain as well. This would be a much different fight. Probably would have gone much different if they hadn't been able to call on Sergey, right? And this is something we see as definitely an integral part of the game, right? Being able to summon your friends who've unlocked the God form, play with them, right? Players commonly get their high-level friends to help train them through dungeons anyways. Why not make it a system, make it a benefit for both? In addition to what we've shown you here with the God form, there's a ton of other stuff. The greatness system, gaining your own followers, developing them. We'll talk about that in more detail down the road. We'll let these guys show off here for a second more, and then I think we'll jump back out to the other zone. Let these guys adventure through here. Yeah, we can jump out. We'll let these guys adventure through here a bit, maybe get a duel going, see which one of these guys is better fighter.
No.
We've got a few more minutes left.
Incredible. Like,
thank you.
It's fluid. It really just is really smooth.
Thank you.
Incredible. Yeah. I mean, also the trailer. Like, no, really. A lot of trailers are just like bah 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 bah. But it was like very, very nicely paced.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you very much. You know, the teams worked super hard on this game. Yeah, go find a duel, Oleg. Go find somebody, beat up on him.
Beat him up. Yeah.
Oleg's giving me a time check. Let's do, what do you think, Berserker versus Archer?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So let's let these guys find one another. Get their duel on. Here comes the Archer down the hill. Get down to a flat spot, dude. Make him come to you. Or not. All right, looks like the fight is on. Oleg's going to open big. Dash back. Looks like the Archer's got a barrier up. He's going to hide within it. Oleg will just leap over it. Nice.
They're just going to town on
yeah,
they're just going to town on one another.
This is what developers do. Once you got a game that's fun, right, then it's just bragging rights. Who can beat up who?
Right. I bet you've seen some crazy stuff in the office too.
We do, right, because you can cheat. So you get developers who cheat, right? You get right to the edge and oops, I didn't mean to reset my health. That was a total accident.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's an awesome little cheat.
All right, looks like the Berserker's doing pretty well, but it's neck and neck right now.
Kind of close, yeah. Wait, what happened?
Oleg lost.
Oh.
Nice. That's a great fight. Are we out of time? How are we doing on time?
We're good. I mean, is there any final? I mean, is there?
Yeah, definitely. Want to touch on a couple things, right?
Sure.
First, obviously, it's an action combat MMO. One of the things we're most excited about is going into closed beta at the end of this year. So Q4 this year, we'll be in beta. Super excited to get real players in there, get them interacting with the content, see which systems they like, see which systems we need to tweak and tune. Obviously, we make these games great. If we get a lot of player feedback, listen to it. So that's very exciting for us. In addition, sign up for the beta on our websites, right? Check us out. Keep in contact through your favorite social channels. And I think that's about it.
That's awesome. Well, good stuff. Exciting, man.
All right, thank you.
Very fluid. And we'll be back here with more live coverage at Gamescom 2014.